Hi my loves, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be on this makeup look. This is a drugstore New Year's Eve makeup look. I love it because it's really dramatic and smoky. It was very unexpected the way I did this. I kind of just went with it. I wasn't really sure what kind of look I wanted to do because originally I had done a cut crease. I filmed it and everything and it was just a disaster, so I didn't like it at all. So I just decided to wipe off all my makeup and start over, and this is what I came up with. So I hope you guys really like it, and also I hope you have an amazing New Year's Eve on Thursday with your friends or your family, and I hope you have a safe one. Remember, no drinking and driving, and I wish you guys nothing but success, love, and happiness in the next year to come. And also thank you so much for all the love you guys have shown me this year on my channel. I really appreciate it, and I can't wait to see what the next year is going to bring. So that is everything. I love you guys, and if you want to know how I get this look, then I'll see you soon. Bye! Alright guys, so the first thing I'm going to be doing is picking up my Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer. This one's in the shade Light. I'm using this as a primer and concealer, so it's going to help for my eyeshadow to last all night, and then also to conceal any veins or discoloration that I may have on my lids. So then to set that concealer, I'm using my NYX contour palette. I'm picking up that light shade and I'm just applying that all over my lid to set that concealer, and I'm actually going to be reaching for this palette a lot throughout the video, so be prepared. Then I'm taking that ashy contour shade and I'm going to use this on a fluffy brush right into my crease in windshield wiper motions just to help me blend everything out since I'm going to be using so many dark shades. And today I'm actually not going to use any tape because I want this look to be really blown out and smoky. So then I'm using my Wet n Wild Comfort Zone palette and I'm going to be highlighting my brow bone with that light shade, and I'm just going to apply it to my brow bone. I don't know why I'm doing this so early because typically I do it at the end, but then I'm picking up that blue brown eyeshadow, which is stunning. This is such a unique, beautiful shade, and I'm just going to be packing this on all over my lid. I love this shade because depending on which way you look at it, like you could be in different lighting and it's going to look different. In some lights it's going to look really teal, and then in some lights it's going to look like a really pretty shimmery brown, which is why I love it so much. It just reminds me of like a mermaid, and I'm in love with it. I feel like Wet n Wild doesn't get enough credit for their eyeshadows, and they're definitely probably the best quality eyeshadows at the drugstore. So I definitely recommend this palette too, just because you can do a neutral look with it or you can do a more dramatic look with it, and I'm just in love with it. So I'm packing this on just with a flat shader brush just until I get it to be really intense, because I do want this eyeshadow to be the main focus of the look. Then I'm picking up the same ashy color from earlier, and I'm just going to use that to blend out the edges of that blue-brown color. I want everything to be really blended and diffused together. Then I'm taking that definer shade, which is like a chocolate brown color, and I'm going to apply this to the outer part of my crease. And then with any extra product that I have on my brush, I'm going to very lightly bring it in towards the middle of the crease. But the main dark color is going to go on the outer part, and I'm just using this to smoke everything out. I feel like what better way to have like a dark, bold, smoky eye and wear a ton of makeup than for New Year's. So I'm just blending that in, and this is the Sigma E25 blending brush in case you're wondering. Then I'm going to go ahead and do my wing with my Wet n Wild Mega Liner, and then for lashes I'm using these by Vegas Nay. They're the Allure lashes. You can get these at Ulta or Target, and this is what the packaging looks like. So now it's time to beat the face. So I'm going to be using my Rimmel Stay Matte Primer. I think for New Year's it's necessary to use a mattifying primer just because you may be dancing or you're just going to be out for the night. So you want to make sure your foundation is matte and it stays on all night. And I love this primer because it's so hydrating, but it mattifies the skin at the same time. Then for foundation, I'm using CoverGirl 3-in-1. Mine's in the shade 845. This is one of my holy grail foundations. It's so full coverage. I just love it. And of course, I'm using my Beauty Blender to blend everything out. I know it looks a little bit light, but it does like get a little bit darker, if that makes sense. Like it oxidizes a little bit throughout the video, so don't you worry. Then for concealer, I'm using Maybelline Instant Age Rewind in the shade Light again. Same one I used earlier, and I'm just going to be using this to conceal and highlight right underneath my eyes and all the usual places. Of course, since it's New Year's, this is just a better excuse to why you're wearing so much makeup. So you guys have seen me do this a million times, but I'm just going to be blending that out with my damp Beauty Blender. And then to set everything, I'm using that banana color from the NYX contour palette, and I'm going to use this e.l.f. blush brush. I have only been using this palette for not even a week and I am in love with it already. The colors are so easy to blend and so smooth and creamy, and I just love them. They're very high quality, and I definitely recommend this palette if you're in the market for a really good contouring palette. I'm just obsessed with it. So then I'm going to be using my NYC Smooth Skin Loose Face Powder. This one's in the shade Naturally Beige, and I'm just going to apply this to the lid, and then taking a fluffy brush. This one's from Sigma. It's the large powder brush, and I'm just going to be applying this all over just to set my foundation. This is very messy, but I really like the way it makes my skin look. And then I'm going to be setting my eyebrows. If there's one thing you don't want on New Year's is for your eyebrows to be melting off. And with this, I promise you they won't. This is amazing. And as you can see, it kind of darkens them up a little bit because I did get some powder on them, and I hate the way they look after I'm done applying my powder because they're very ashy looking. So then I'm going to take the contour shade from the same NYX contour palette, and I'm just going to be contouring my cheeks. I'm using this F40 from Sigma. I love this brush. It makes it really easy to get in there and sculpt out the cheekbones. Then I wanted everything to be a little bit more defined, so I took the yellow shade from earlier from the same NYX palette, and I'm just going to be sculpting that out and make it more crisp. Then for blush, I'm using this e.l.f. blush palette in the shade Light, and I'm going to be mixing my brush in the light pink and peach shade, and I'm just going to apply that right to the apples of my cheeks. I feel like this blush palette is essential to have in your collection because it literally goes good with any makeup look. And then for highlight, I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild Fergie highlighter in the shade Hollywood Boulevard. This is a dupe for Champagne Pop. I do show this and Champagne Pop in my previous video as a comparison. But yeah, I just love this highlighter. It's bomb. Honestly, it wouldn't be a JuicyJas makeup tutorial without over highlighting the face. And then I'm going to finish off the eyes. I'm going to just basically do some touch-ups. So I'm going to take that brown color from earlier and just smudge that. And then I'm going to take the brow bone shade and just highlight my brow bone again, just because I kind of feel like I lost it a little bit with all the blending and the darker shades. And then I'm just going to take the other side of that blending brush, which is from my Naked palette or Naked 2 palette, and I'm just going to blend everything out. Picking up that blue-brown color again, I'm going to be smudging that underneath my lower lashes with a pencil brush just to really make everything that much more intense. And then I'm using my Rimmel Eye Kohl in the shade Black on my waterline. And then to top off the eyes, I'm going to be using some Bottom Lash Mascara, and this one's by L'Oreal. Okay, for the lips, I'm using this NYX lip liner. This one's in the shade Pink Suede Shoes or something like that. I'll leave it linked below. I love this lip liner. It's so creamy and so easy to work with. I'm not going to overline my lips because I'm not really about that life. I'm just going to outline my natural lips and then fill them in a little bit. And then I'm using this Wet n Wild lipstick in the shade 902C. This is one of my favorite nudes ever. It's so pretty, and I feel like it goes good with the lips or with the eyes. And you could totally use a bold lip, but I feel like a nude really just ties everything together, and I wanted the eyes to be the main focus of the look. And then for gloss, I'm using this Milani gloss in the shade Bare Secret, and that does complete this makeup. So I hope you guys like this look. Let me know what you think of it down below. Thank you so much for watching. And again, I hope you guys have a great New Year's, and hopefully, I hope that 2016 will be your year. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye!